It's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man. How the heck are you? It is Thursday, January 13th, 2021. I almost made it through the whole open. We got to talk about that COVID test I took yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of an interesting process. I was a little surprised how that whole thing played out. So we'll talk about that. We got to talk about the NFL playoffs, wild card weekend. We'll have locks for you on the show tomorrow. We got to talk about you rocking our affiliate links. Let's go. Added a new link down there.
Let's go.
New mask link, new testing. There's at-home testing kits. Just check it out if you're on the podcast or on YouTube. Just go ahead and click the links in the description below. But I think without a doubt, we got to start talking about the Utah Jazz on this here program. I don't know. Maybe we are doomsday sayers or naysayers or however you want to.
We're haters.
Yeah, maybe that's, it is what it is. Facts.
Haters.
See, like I'm having to say the drops now because
right. Give me like 2 minutes.
His job.
Jesus.
Facts. Yeah, facts. How worried about this Utah Jazz team are you, Jake?
Yeah, well, so if we go back to the Pistons loss, I wasn't necessarily worried about the character of the team or where this team was at as far as, the relationships on the floor and the dynamic on the floor, mainly because the Pistons just looked fresher. They look like the better athlete on the floor. Okay, can kind of write that off. Things happen, This game last night, you're at home. You're playing the Cavs, and I tweeted out last night that the Cavs are, a mediocre team by NBA standards. And everyone was like, no, they're not a mediocre team. And I'm telling you that I'm here to tell you that the Cavs are a pretty mediocre team. They're a middle-of-the-field team. They're not, top 10 in the league, I would say. They're pushing for that, but this is a team that going into it on paper, you would expect the Jazz to be able to handle, even with Gobert being out. So last night, I'm watching this game, and I don't even really care that you lost by 20 at home, right? What I'm more concerned about is what I saw, in the game within the game, which is Joe Ingles getting ejected out of this game for basically no reason, right? It was a really stupid thing that he did, and he didn't have to do it, fighting with the officials over a play you weren't even involved in. And then if you go all the way back to the first quarter, elbowing Jared Allen in the face for basically no reason. So to me, I was like, okay, Joe in his first game back is trying to be a pest, and he made a mistake. All right, I can kind of just put that on Joe. But then as the game progresses, I see a lot of immaturity, across the lineup that's on the floor for the Jazz. I see a lot of lack of, leadership and composure and basically just a lack of a plan. And that's really what concerns me about this team a lot. It's one thing to say, okay, our best defensive players in protocol. We're missing some guys. We probably are going to lose some games here. Okay, I can get down with that. That's fine. I think, any NBA organization right now, you look at the Bulls, you look at what the Nets went through with the protocol situation. A lot of these teams have gone through the cycle of, hey, we got a lot of players out, so we're probably going to lose some games here. That's one thing. But what happened last night was a different thing. You had most of your guys playing last night, just so we're clear. You had all of your mainstays playing except Rudy Gobert. And you lost by 20 at home because you don't want to move the ball and you don't run offense. And what I mean by you don't run offense, if you watch this team consistently, they walk the ball up the floor, they set a pick, and then they just try to swing the ball. There's no sets. There's no strategy as to how to go at a team that started 3 7-footers last night.
Well, I don't even know that that's what the Jazz are doing. I was tweeting during the game about, that they just need to run offense because they're walking it up, and Donovan Mitchell's taking a long three. They're walking it up, and there's one pass to Jordan Clarkson, and he's taking a long three. You're walking the ball up as Donovan Mitchell driving right to the basket. Like, there's no offense being run.
Mm-hmm. There's no strategy.
There's no – sure, I can't disagree with that. There's no strategy in place. It doesn't seem to me, plan of how you're going to attack the Cleveland Cavaliers defensively.
Yeah.
Like, they're whatever the Cavs do on defense, you have no plan. You're just going to do you.
Yeah.
You don't run sets. There's no You know, there's no drive and kick. There's no screen roll kick to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's none of that. Frankly, I think that's the only way this team is elite. And if we're telling the truth about the Utah Jazz, what I'm telling you is that Quin Snyder needs to be on the hot seat, because this isn't about Rudy Gobert not being in the lineup, and wins and losses don't really even matter to me. What matters to me is what you look like winning and losing, how you play winning and losing. Where's the effort? Where's the frustration? Frankly, today, if you're a Utah Jazz fan, you should be embarrassed for Joe Ingles. That garbage he put out there last night,
Yeah.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Yeah.
The elbow he threw into the face of Jared Allen, okay, that's a technical foul. You were trying to stir the pot. I totally get it. All right, maybe. But then to get involved in an argument with the officials that had nothing to do with you, to the point where you got thrown out of a game where with you in the game, your coach only had 9 available players. You get tossed. Now he only has 8. That's embarrassing. That's bad basketball. That's bad mindset. That's not intelligent. That's why I say, if we're telling the truth about the Utah Jazz, I think we got to start looking at Quin Snyder.
Yeah,
because this team's coming apart.
I totally agree, and I don't think that's too strong to say. I don't think it's shock jock radio or hot take guy or whatever to say that this team is coming unhinged, and that's how I like to word it. Whether you want to say coming apart, coming unhinged, like the team just does not feel like it is together and moving all in the same direction, which frankly, this is the first time I've really seen this kind of dynamic, this sort of just unorganized, just kind of rolling up to play a game mentality out of this version of the Utah Jazz with Quin and Donovan and this core group of players. And I think that, so the point is that's what concerns me. I don't really, losing by 20 at home, yeah, that's never a good thing, no matter what the situation is with COVID protocol. But the way you lost this game and the way the game went, well, I was just like, dude, like, what's going on with this team? Where did the organized Donovan Mitchell-led Utah Jazz go? I don't know. And I'm looking like, the box score, and I don't mean to run on, but this is also, if you're a numbers person, what's concerning, I think they had like 11 assists last night as a team or whatever it was.
But that goes back to no offense being run.
Yeah.
It to me, that it doesn't matter that you're losing. You're missing some real important players, including Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Including Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gay. You're missing guys. So you're expected, in my opinion, to at least compete.
Mm-hmm.
But this team's not competing right now.
You had 11 team assists last night.
Yeah, that's shocking.
It, dude. To put that in perspective, you have a Cavs team who had 28 team assists last night. 28, dude. Like, they out-rebounded you 50-32, which, okay, I can get down with that. You're missing your bigs. Okay, fine. We won't talk about the rebounds, right? But I just look at the box score. You've got Bogey with 9 points.
Yeah.
You've got Joe Ingles because he decided to get tossed with 2 points. But what's more scary, and this is what I was saying earlier in the week about Donovan Mitchell, and I'm not trying to hit the panic button or anything, but it's a little surprising that we have a guy in Donovan Mitchell who's capable of doing what he's doing, only putting up 17 points. That's a little surprising when your team is shorthanded.
Other than Eric Pascal, there was not a single Jazz player that was positive.
Yeah.
Everybody else was negative, including the great Royce O'Neal, the greatest defender anyone's ever seen, at a -21.
-21.
That's
dude.
in 36 minutes. Royce O'Neal was a -21.
Bro,
the numbers. That's what stands out to you, is that this team is not competing. The issue is the Utah Jazz are not competing.
And that goes back to the coaching thing, and I think it's a great point. Like, no matter if you're winning or losing or you're shorthanded, it's more about how we're going about playing these games.
Yeah.
And again, I know it might seem just a little bit silly, but like last night, I'm literally sitting there saying, okay, did they watch tape on this team before they rolled out on the floor tonight? Do they not have any kind of like operation for how they're going to attack this team?
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it.
Well, and by the way, I'm not telling you to fire Quin Snyder right now. I think that would be a reckless decision. But
Yeah.
I think to me, I don't know how you have him. If this continues, and my guess is it won't. Sunday, when the Jazz are off until Sunday, my guess is you're going to have Rudy Gobert back and things will be normalized again. But this is not a team that's going to make a deep playoff run. And in my opinion, I think you got to make a coaching change after the season. I would not fire Quin Snyder now, but I would start really leaning on Quin Snyder to find solutions.
Mm-hmm.
This one-on-one basketball is why you're not competing right now. It's not that you don't have Rudy Gobert. It's that you're not playing ball. You're playing hero ball, iso ball, one-on-one ball. You can't go an entire game and have 11 assists.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
It's just not good enough. It's not good enough.
But other than that, I mean, I don't know how you explain their lack of competition. That's what's so surprising to me. So as we title this show, The Truth About the Utah Jazz, the Jazz are melting. I mean, you're watching a team come apart. It was clearly a mistake to keep this roster intact.
Mm-hmm.
And you're paying the price for that now. And when you have, everybody's been devastated by COVID. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens to teams now.
It just is what it is. As I sit here waiting for my COVID test result to come back in.
Did it come in yet, dude?
It did not. And I am I'm literally looking at my chart app like constantly. I need to know. But the point is, it's not that you're losing. It's that the decisions you're making are just so bad.
Yeah.
They're just so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how you justify the things that are being done on the floor right now.
And I'd feel a little
I
better
really
about
don't.
it if Don was putting up, 25, 30 a night like he usually does. You
Well,
know?
because I'm such a fan of Craig Bolerjack,
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was watching the Cleveland Cavalier broadcast last night.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
And their whole pregame thing was, well, Donovan Mitchell's going to roll out and drop 30 on us. So let's contain everybody else.
But you see what I mean? That's a strategy. Okay, we know Don is a great scorer. We know that he's going to get his, which he didn't. But we know he's going to get his. So let's play defense against everybody else. Let Don get his, and we'll win the game.
Yeah.
That's a strategy.
Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, they weren't going to win this game because you didn't have a center on the roster. I mean,
well, I don't necessarily agree with that. This team's capable of making, 25 threes in a game?
Well, yeah, but when you shoot 34% from three, you're probably not going to win if you're the Jazz.
Agreed.
But
so that's why I say,
you were already going to have a special offensive performance because you didn't have a center on the roster. But when you roll out with Royce, Bogey, Conley, Ingles, and Mitchell, and off the bench you're playing Clarkson and Pascal, you essentially played 7 guys last night. Denzel Valentine got 17 minutes.
But hold on. How is that any different than any other night? And I'm not being an asshole about it.
Because
How is that any different?
Because you didn't have a center last night. So I think you knew that Jared Allen was going to probably have a big game. He didn't. Jared Allen played 30 minutes, had 7 boards and 12 points.
It's not a big game.
No. And if you look at Evan Mobley, 15 minutes and 10 rebounds, or 15 points and 10 rebounds. It's just not. That's what's so surprising.
So that's why I say, last night, if you're the Jazz and you're not going to have a big on your roster and you're going to have some size issues, wouldn't you think that there would be a lot of driving and kicking happening? There would be a lot of ball rotation happening.
Systematic basketball, yeah.
Right? You would be like, okay, we know that we're going to have a special performance from 3 tonight to win this game. We know that we're going to have to shoot. We're going to have that 40% from 3 as a team shooting night that we are notorious for having. So let's drive and kick. Let's use Donovan as a decoy, and let's get the ball to guys like Joe Ingles and Bojan Bogdanovic in the corner. Hell, you even get I think Pascal was 4 of 4 last night, or 3 of 4 from 3. I mean, you weren't even expecting that off the bench.
Yeah, Pascal's playing well. It really, and again, another indictment against Quin Snyder is, you give Elijah Hughes and Eric Pascal major minutes and they contribute.
Yeah.
And yet, you don't give him major minutes. I don't understand that. Kenny says the Jazz make me sad. All I wanted was a win for my birthday.
Well, happy
Aw,
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
The night guy says, morning, dudes. Morning, bruh.
Morning, bro.
He also says, live by the 3, die by the 3. Always have and always will right now. Cody Strickland says, good morning, Vietnam. Okay. Greg Hawkins says, howdy, fellas. What's up, Rockstar? Kenny says, now I have a question for you guys. Do the Jazz need to blow it up now? Is it time? And more importantly, will they? I think you're going to get an indication of what's going to happen to this roster at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I think there's a real good chance if this kind of play continues, they don't make a major deal at the deadline. I think what you'll see is a complete dismantling over the summer.
Yeah.
Danny Ainge has not been a guy who has historically made huge deals at the deadline. He's made 1 or 2 here and there, but he's not the guy that goes out and blows it up at the deadline. My guess is that will probably be his pattern. If in the next couple of weeks you fall out of the top tier in the Western Conference, and my guess is they won't. And this is the other thing. I think you just need your guys to get healthy here. It's a week and a half of not having your best players, right? So right now the Jazz have fallen to 4th below Memphis,
But
by a half game.
But is that accurate to say it's a week and a half of not having your best players? I mean, they had their guys last night.
Well, you need a center. You need a body. You need a big man in the middle, whether he contributes or not.
Mm-hmm.
You need a space eater in the middle.
Yeah.
And for the Jazz, they absolutely need that because Rudy Gobert is their pick and roll guy.
And I mean, if you're looking at the standings, let's be honest. I mean, we said this on the show yesterday too. Like, you're the top 4 teams in the West have a massive cushion over the rest of the West. So, you've got the Suns who are leading the West at 31-9. Golden State's 1 game behind them at 30-10. Memphis is now in the 3rd spot at 29-14. And then the Jazz are a half game back, 28-14. But then after the Jazz, it's Dallas at 22-19, 9.5 games
It's
out.
mediocrity.
Yeah.
It's
so, I mean,
a lot of mediocrity.
if you're the Jazz, you've got a 5-game cushion to the 5th seed. I mean, you're not going to fall, to the 5th seed here.
Yeah, and Dallas isn't good. I mean, the Lakers got embarrassed last night in Sacramento. The Nugget, I don't know what's taking Jamal Murray so long, but it just feels like he's been out for years. I would agree with you. There's a separation of classes, but are the Jazz falling back to that Dallas, Denver, Clipper, Laker group? Because all of a sudden you look at teams at the bottom of this conference, and there's not a whole lot of quality basketball being played.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you watched the game in Chicago last night with the Nets and the Bulls. It was wildly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And you're starting to understand why the Bulls and the Nets are the 2 best teams in the East.
Mm-hmm.
But the East is actually playing good basketball. I mean, the Sixers lost last night, but you're looking at a Sixer, Buck, Heat, Net, Bulls are all pretty good teams.
Yeah. They're pretty good, yeah.
I don't know if Daryl Morey ever pulls his own head out of his own orifice and makes this trade.
It is so dumb.
But there are rumors around the NBA now that he's asking for exponentially more now than he was previously for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, they don't want to trade Ben Simmons. They don't. They want to keep him on an island, keep him out of the league, and
yeah.
I mean, that's the only way. That's the only thing you can say about it. Because if you wanted to move on from this and you wanted to actually be serious about winning a championship, you'd have traded him already. You'd have made a deal. You would have understood that your value is not going to come in in an all-star in return. It's going to come in picks, and you're going to have to turn those picks into something special out of the draft. Like, you would understand that. The thing that Daryl Morey does not understand is he's not in a position of leverage as far as the league is concerned. People do not have to do business with you. And I know that that's really unfortunate for Ben Simmons' career, but the fact is because Ben Simmons is a limited offensive player in terms of getting his own shot and all that, he's not a super attractive candidate to all these other teams. I mean, you have ESPN this morning talking about how he'd be a great fit on the Bulls. And while, yes, I agree that the Bulls need some defense for Kevin Durant and the Nets, I don't think that financially he's a great fit for almost any team because he's paid so damn
Making
much,
so
dude.
much money.
So that's why I say if you're Daryl Morey and the Sixers, what are you really doing here?
Yep, I agree. Let's get some more comments in here. Cody says, I'm pretty sure that the Jazz will be fine. Sad game last night. Joe stunk it up and made sure he got tossed. I don't know if James is in here or not, but I'm telling you right now that Joe Ingles is done. Like, you're either going to trade him or he's just going to play out the string this year.
Yeah.
He's done.
He's the guy. He needs to move.
I don't see that. I just don't see he can compete anymore.
Because it's garbage.
I mean, I don't know. He's not a shell of the player he used to be.
No.
And I know we've been saying that for a couple of months now.
Joe Ingles used to be able to put up 25 or 30 for this team. Like, I hope people remember that. Like, he's a guy that can make 6-7 threes a game, and he can get you 8 or 9 assists.
I mean, I don't remember a time where he airballed 2 shots in a row like that. He was not even close to start the game last night.
Yeah.
Brylark says, morning, boys. There's James Knight. He says, morning, guys. I love Joe, but his actions last night were selfish and stupid. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it might be time to get on a plane back home because he's done.
I'm telling you.
Wow, James keeps it real.
Yeah, man.
Mr. E says, would you pull the trigger and fire Snyder and hire Sam Cassell? I would. Not right now, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that in the middle of a season. It's just not. Quin deserves better than that. The team deserves better than that. But I think it's absolutely warranted after the season.
Amen on Snyder, the night guy says, we've been out-coached way too many times. Bogey was a puss fart last night.
I'm sorry. Did you say a puss fart?
Did you say a puss fart?
Like, what it can
you know,
okay.
we don't weaponize the female genitalia in this home.
Whatever.
That's something my wife says all the time. Bogey was a puss fart last night, constantly crying about fouls and always on the ground. That's when I turned off the Jazz broadcast.
Yeah.
When Holly Rowe and Bowler are ripping the officials, I'm just like, are we being serious?
I mean,
really?
Apparently.
Like you're complaining, like you were watching this Jazz game and you're complaining about the officials. That's what stood out to you. And the Holly Rowe thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Because she is, I like Holly Rowe. I don't mind her on the broadcast. There's so many people who don't like Holly Rowe, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think that her contribution sometimes feels forced. It feels manufactured, and that's the tough part about Holly. Like she was part of ESPN's crew on the College Football National Championship, and I just was uncomfortable watching her interview Nick Saban. I was like, dude, like what? This shouldn't be Holly Rowe, with all due respect.
Coach Saban.
Yeah, like it shouldn't be her.
Well, Nick Saban's a tough interview. I think
Coach Saban.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, thank you. Jerry was like, "Where's the Coach Saban drop?" It's right there.
Yeah,
this is Coach Saban.
Yeah. But she has a propensity to be awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking about Jordan Clarkson's Kobe's last night.
Dude, she's literally like, he makes this step back three. You know, it was a
beautiful shot.
Great move, beautiful shot, classic Jordan Clarkson. And they're literally on the broadcast like, yeah, that was a special move, and he's got special footwork and those special shoes. Somebody tweeted us what shoes he's wearing. He's literally wearing Kobe 4s. Like you don't know that those are Kobe 4s.
Yeah, that's a little surprising.
Like everybody,
but they are older. I mean, Big T, Bowler, and Holly Rowe are not spring chickens.
Yeah. Well, you cover the NBA for a living. You should know what a Kobe 4 is.
I would think. Brylark said we started seeing the Ingles decline last year.
Yep.
Cody Strickland said they should keep Ben Simmons out. F that guy. Bite the bullet, keep him off the court for the rest of his contract, and show players in the league that you should never be rewarded for being a little biatch.
Well,
do we agree with that? Like, where are you? If I'm Ben Simmons, I would have played this year.
Yeah.
I think you abandoned your team last year and now all of this year.
Yeah, he's being selfish now. There's no doubt.
But I'll tell you what, if I'm the Sixers, I'd have traded him last summer. I would not have held on to him. He had less value, I agree. He's got more value now. I agree with that. But you're focused on Ben Simmons at that point.
Yeah, why are you playing games?
Focus on the club.
Yeah, dude.
Focus on the team. You know, Jack T, good morning too. He says, if you say Gobert is expendable, that's fair, but then it means you have nothing. Well,
I think you have nothing now. That's the thing.
But I disagree that you have nothing. The problem with this roster right now is, and it's still Dennis Lindsey's roster, and not to keep saying it, but I told you so. Yeah. You can't keep this roster intact last summer.
Facts.
Right? You're built around Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Your defense is, okay, well, I'm a slow, balding white guy, and I'm gonna let my defender go by me, and Rudy's gonna pick up my slack.
Y'all feel me?
That's your defensive. That's like Royce O'Neal, Buckets O'Neal, lockdown defender.
No.
Turns out he's not.
He's not.
Right?
He's not.
Your team is built around the wrong freaking guy.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with and again, the theme of the show today is let's tell the truth about the Jazz.
Yeah.
The truth about the Jazz is they're built around the wrong guy. They need to be built around Donovan Mitchell. They're built around Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that right now.
Yeah.
Right? They are not the same team defensively. You have 4 guys last night on the floor who just are not physically capable of defending.
Well, I think it's actually fair to say that they're not the same team on either end of the floor, because the truth is, Rudy can't get his own shot, but he is a really good screen setter. He does provide and create opportunities for other guys because of how good he is at setting screens up top. And I totally agree. They're built around him. Without him, you're not seeing, we were just talking about it, you're not seeing all the screens being set. You're not seeing, the pick and roll action happening.
There's no system.
Yeah.
There's no offensive sets.
Yeah. And so, again, with all due respect to Rudy Gobert, like, I just think that this roster has a major flaw in it, and it's not going to be overcome. And I think it's very easy to take advantage of if you're playing the Jazz.
Yeah, I totally, I agree with that 100%. Matt says, can't wait to see BYU in the Big 12. How incredible are Texas Tech, Baylor, and Kansas? That league's loaded.
Yeah, well, once they get Jackson Dart, they're going to win the Big 12. So
Hey. Yes, I tweeted I think yesterday. The days run together.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm told by BYU sources that they're heavy after Jackson Dart. So I would love to see him in Provo.
Real.
Jack says, where was Mitchell now when the team needed him most?
That's what I'm saying.
What is his stat line? He is good only for the second best player on the contender. You done messed up, JoJo Ron.
Yeah, bro.
Jeremy Bolden says.
Like you're
Ron.
JoJo Ron. That's fine. Like, I think it's a great point. And this is why I say, like, I don't think it's hitting the panic button to say, where's Donovan Mitchell? 17 points, not good enough. Not even close to good enough. I mean, like I would expect, Darius Garland last night damn near had a triple-double. Or I think he might have had a triple-double. And Don's got 17 and 4. Where are you at, dude?
By the way, did you see Kyle Kuzma last night?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's odd we talked about him on the show yesterday. I told you I was not a big fan of his.
Yeah.
He needs 1 assist for a triple-double. Drives in the lane, passes up a layup, kicks to the corner to a guy who makes an extra pass. And Kyle Kuzma got upset with the guy in the corner because he didn't shoot to get Kyle Kuzma a triple-double.
Because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Stopped playing, clapped his hands, yelled at the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
Cantavius Caldwell-Pope missed the 3.
Yeah.
The teams run down the other end, and Kuzma's not playing defense.
It vexes me.
It's ridiculous.
Terribly vexed.
Night Guy says Pascal plays way better D than Royce. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I would, and I think we talked about this when he signed here. I would be starting Pascal over Royce. He's got the same energy. He's a hustle player. He shoots the 3. I love that he attacks the basket.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his decision-making's got to get a little better when to put the ball on the floor.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main problems that Jazz have. They have a lot of guys that shoot 3s, so it's awkward for them to go to the basket. Bojan Bogdanović is the example of this.
Yeah.
Bojan needs to make better decisions.
Right.
When they drive and kick to him, there's a lot of times where he goes to the basket when he should shoot a 3.
Bojan.
Yeah, I think Bogey, for this team to be elite, Bogey's got to score 20 a night.
Bojan Bogdanović.
Yeah, and we're seeing that he's not that guy. I don't know what happened to this team.
I don't know.
And it's why I wanted a roster shakeup last summer. I just think that there's a lot of guys in decline on this roster. Mike Conley does not look like the same guy.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on with Mike Conley right now.
None of them look like the same guys. What are we
They
talking
just
about?
don't.
Donovan doesn't look the same. Mike doesn't look the same. Joe definitely doesn't look the same. Like, all these guys.
Yeah. Kenny says younger guys can play defense too, Quinn.
Yeah.
Pascal plays way better defense than Royce O'Neal.
Yeah.
I mean, he does.
Yeah.
I think Nyguy said that. I totally agree with that. Brylark says Rudy Gobert is one of the greatest defenders in league history, and that's about it. That's all he does for you. Well, I mean, I think offensively, he's that guy. You know, imagine walking down the street. To start walking down the street, you got to put one foot in front of the other, and then you get into your rhythm, right? He's that guy that puts your offense into the rhythm.
Yeah, the screen setting is, I know that that's a smaller detail, but it's really important for the way this team plays.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think no matter what happens this year, you got to significantly change this roster.
Yeah, because if nothing changes, you're still not a championship caliber team.
That's right.
You know, and that's why you're playing the game.
I'm too competitive. Admittedly here, and this is something I talk about a lot. I'm way too competitive. I hate being just another also-ran team. I hate it. And Jazz fans deserve better than this. I'm telling you, they are one or two players from being elite.
Mm-hmm.
They are if you added a Jaylen Brown on this team, and then you added a legitimate power forward, if you had a guy that can shoot a three and get to the basket, if you had a Harrison Barnes,
if you had drafted Desmond Bane when you had the chance,
I mean, that's the tenacity that's missing from this team.
Yeah,
that's the issue, and I think in my mind, until they change this roster, they're not going to change anything. I mean, it just they are built around Rudy Gobert. They are,
and it's unfortunate.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, dude.
And you're seeing that, and maybe maybe he belongs in the MVP conversation because you're seeing what this team is without him, which is not very good.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a huge mistake. Building yourself around a player who cannot easily score is a problem.
Yeah,
it is a problem. And when you're relying on Joe Ingles and Bojan Bogdanovic and Jordan Clarkson and oddly, I'm not even saying Donovan Mitchell's name. Like there's
the dynamic is messed up. Like that's the best way to say it.
And these 3 days off that they're getting, I think, are pivotal. I would not have them do a damn thing today.
Yeah,
I would. Today's a full-fledged off day. Sleep in, eat well, get a hot tub sesh. Go get laid, get beached up, and then see you Friday morning.
That's it, Skippy.
That's because this team needs to not basketball for a minute.
Yeah.
Because they're
burned out.
They look
clearly.
burned out to me.
They are tired. They are not mentally engaged. Like all the worst stuff in sports, they are right now.
The Nye guy, somebody needs to do a wellness check on the Nye guy. I worry about you, Nye. He says if somehow we brought in Brandon Ingram, I'd have relations with his new Jazz jersey. Do you know you don't worry about stains? I mean, anyway.
I just thought that you would appreciate me treating you like an adult.
So, of course, Kenny said, if somehow we brought in Kevin Durant, I'd have relations with his new Jazz jersey.
Wow. Yes! Bro.
Listen, if we somehow brought in Kevin Durant, I'd have relations with Kevin Durant. Fuck. Can you imagine Kevin Durant on this team?
Yeah.
Listen.
Any team, dude.
Linda.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, dude.
That Bulls Nets game last night.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
I mean, that was fun basketball.
Yes, it was. We deserve an Eastern Conference Finals of those two teams.
As enjoyable as it would have been had the Bulls, actually won that game. Watching James Harden not be the focal point of that offense and watching them flower and blossom like a tulip. James Harden was 5 of 8 from 3, 25 points, a plus 24.
He's an assassin.
Kevin Durant was 3 of 4 from 3, 10 of 11 from the line, 9 dimes, 2 steals, 27 points.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
I mean,
Good God, Molly.
yeah, dude.
I mean,
hey.
you got 21 from Patty Mills off the bench.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving gave you 9 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 of 3 from 3, and you rolled the Bulls. I mean, now, and the Bulls have a similar problem to the Jazz, except it's reversed. This team's built around Zach LaVine, which I think is a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are, because you don't have, like, Nikola Vucevic, with all due respect, that Derrick Jones Jr. knee injury.
Oh, dude, no.
That
No,
looked like a
no,
torn
no.
patella tendon if I've ever seen one, but
Bro.
This is a code 10 aboard.
they missed him. But what you're getting out of Kobe White off the bench right now,
Yeah, buddy's making his shots.
I'm telling you, you look at Zach LaVine last night, he shoots 8 of 13, 22 points. Lonzo Ball last night, 2 of 4 from 3, 9 points, 14 out of Vucevic, and DeRozan gave you 19 and didn't shoot a 3.
Yep.
Like, that team's going to be tough to reckon with when they get fully.
They need one more guy. You need
They
one
do.
more guy.
I think Zach LaVine's a great player. That's the guy you need on the Jazz. That's the guy that can get to the basket, get to his mid-range, shoot a 3,
And
plays
he's not
defense.
6'1".
Yeah, that's the guy you need on the Jazz.
Yeah.
The Bulls are built around him, and I hate it. Like, he just is. He's an alpha male.
Mm-hmm.
Is Donovan Mitchell a superstar?
No. Nope. No team that has a bona fide superstar is doing what they're doing right now. No team. Because a bona fide superstar isn't going to allow it. You're not going to allow your team to flounder, not even from a win-loss perspective, but more from a composure, from a, hey, this is how we're going about playing the game. No guy is going to allow his team to do that. And I think that Don can be a superstar. I think he's still got some growth to go through, but I just don't think that's where he's at right now.
Jeremy Bolton.
Here we go.
C9 guy, this is what you do to the show.
Here comes the Alex Caruso headband drop.
No, close. If somehow we brought in David Caruso, I'd make my dog have relations with his new Jazz jersey.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
David Caruso.
Bro. David Caruso. Isn't that the redheaded actor guy? Neville93 says, good morning, guys. I woke up a little late, but I'm here.
Thanks for showing up. Better late than never.
You should probably go back to bed.
Yeah, you did more than Rudy does, so thanks.
Could you imagine Zach LaVine on this Jazz team? Yes, I could. That would be...
That's the level of trade they're going to make, I'm telling you.
Well, they need to. I mean, you
this summer it's coming.
So you're not in on Donovan Mitchell. I'm all in on
As a superstar, no. He's not there yet. He is not. He is not. Superstars in the league are like the best of the best. Like,
what is he lacking?
He's lacking leadership. He's lacking that extra intangible that can carry a team. I'm telling you, last night, 17 points. Did you want to be there? Were you trying to win?
He does tend to look disinterested at times.
Yeah, like what are you like? Why are you settling for a 3 from the hash?
Well, and the thing that's interesting is his range has gotten much larger. But is that because you can't get to the basket? Is that because you don't want to go to the basket? Like, it's weird to me.
I know it's unfair. It's probably unfair to be comparing Donovan Mitchell to the LeBrons of the world, right? That's unfair. But I don't want to compare him like from a physical skill set. What I want to compare him is in leadership, because leadership you don't need to be 6'6", 280 to be a great leader. And that's what I'm disappointed in with Don right now. And that could change tomorrow.
But this is why everybody tries to compare him to Devin Booker. And I'm just telling you, not because Devin's my guy, even though, did you see that Devin Booker,
wet like on book,
my guy, D-Book, changed his Twitter avatar to the Raptors fucking
Twitter's
mascot.
been going crazy.
Great.
He has fully embraced his idiocy from Toronto the other night, which I love.
But that's my point.
But I'm not taking. I think Devin Booker now. I mean, there's no argument to be made that he is a better player right now than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that really is, I want to know if Donovan Mitchell is a confident basketball player. I want to know if Donovan Mitchell believes he's the baddest man on the planet, because I'm not sure. I don't see a confident basketball player in Don right now.
No, like, and that's kind of my point about the 3-point thing at the hash. Yeah, sure. Does he have that range? Well, yeah, absolutely. Steph Curry's got that range. Do you see Steph pulling up like that every single time down? No. Do you see Don basically pulling up like that all the time now? Yes. And my point is last night, I get it. Last night, you probably, we're not in a position to win that game for multiple reasons, and that's not all on Don. But damn, if Don is not doing everything he can do to win a game, and he's not right now. He's not. You're not getting to the line. You're not, like, keeping your team in check. Like, you're not doing what leaders do in the NBA, and that's what I want from him.
Brylark says, would you trade Bogey and Royce for Zach LaVine?
Yes, in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't think twice about it.
The Bulls would not.
The Bulls wouldn't,
No.
but I would.
I would. If you compare Brooklyn to Utah pound for pound, it's just not a fair fight. The Jazz would be going to a gunfight with a pocket knife.
Yeah, dude.
James Knight
Yeah,
says.
agreed. 100% agree.
Kenny says, Brylark, yes, and it's not even close. Dude's in the MVP conversation. I actually think DeMar DeRozan's their MVP.
Yeah, Zach LaVine's not in the MVP conversation.
Mr.
DeMar
E
is.
says Bulls would laugh if they hear that trade proposal. Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Jazz would have to offer more, but they don't have the guts, and they don't have the offer more part.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a first-round pick that they can trade for, 3 more years?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a 7.5. I think the Jazz only have a $7.5 million trade exemption and a couple of second-round picks. Like, they don't have the goods to make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a problem. When Book goes to sleep, he looks under his bed for the Raptors mascot, the Nye guy says. Kenny says, LMAO, Book really fought a guy in a dinosaur costume.
So
Yes,
you
he
better
did.
check yourself.
Yes, he did.
Buddy is in an empty arena. There's one guy behind the basket.
One fucking guy.
One fucking guy. And you're losing your mind about the mascot doing what mascots do.
One guy who supposedly is extinct, but apparently not, standing behind the basket waving his dinosaur teeth.
But if we're going to compare the Jazz to the Suns have a better relationship with the officials. So Buddy in the mascot uniform went over to the corner in timeout mode for a few possessions. Just saying. I'm just saying.
They really did make him move.
They did. He got his ass out from behind the basket.
By the way, why is the mascot working at the game when there's no fans?
TV purposes, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because that's what you do. You're a mascot. I mean, if you're not going to be at games, where are you going to be?
Yeah. I don't know what you do. I'm not sure. Can you do the Rudy Gobert French voice from yesterday? Oui, croissant. I was just screwing around yesterday. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, Night Guy says he's fine. He took my sex ed class yesterday. So
oh,
he says
did you?
He understands.
Did you? What are we talking about today? I mean, yesterday was anal. So what's today?
I don't want to know. Today is the rhythm method.
The rhythm method.
People are misinterpreting what I'm saying.
The Night Guy says that shit with the mascot was funnier than Jeff Dunham's last special. It was. But what makes it really funny now is that Devin Booker's embraced it.
Yeah.
Like, he tweeted a picture about the guy being in his head, and
and that was after he was like, "Yeah, me and the mascot worked it out. We're homies now."
And then he tweets the picture, new Twitter avatar, and it's the Raptors. Like, that's what makes it so great. Like, that's what makes it
And then the
as funny.
Raptors mascot Twitter handle comes back, and the hashtag is newer, like, profile picture. Like.
Oh, yeah, giggity, no kidding. Where's the guy who said the Jazz were better than the Suns?
Yeah.
Funny, he's not here. Hot take, Joe Ingles getting ejected last night was a selfish move for him. Oh,
you don't say.
Shock jock commenting.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously. Jeremy Bolton, he's probably hanging out with Growcock. Totally a no-show. Yeah, where's Growcock been?
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
He's probably playing his Xbox.
Okay, can we talk a little NFL before we get to COVID testing and baby names?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the hottest trends in baby names? Dude, what are you guys doing to your kids? Anyway, NFL Wildcard Weekend is upon us. Tomorrow we'll have locks. We'll pick all the games for you.
I want better fucking execution.
John Gruden won't join the show. What's the biggest potential upset this weekend? Like that Steeler-Chiefs game stands out to me a little bit.
There's no way.
That's why I'm saying,
No way, dude.
It's Ben Roethlisberger, right? It is his last potential game, ever.
Are you okay?
No, I'm dying. Like I woke up at 1 o'clock with a coughing fit last night. Stop it. I woke up at 1 o'clock last night coughing. And so I went and slept in our guest room. First of all,
I'm screwed.
I'm a fat ass. I shouldn't sleep on a twin bed. My feet I felt like an 8-foot tall monster. Like my feet are hanging off the end of a twin bed. But goddamn, I slept well.
Hey,
Like I was up from like 1:30 or 1:11 to like 1:50.
Yeah.
And then went back to sleep and slept great.
Hey, there you go. That's a win.
But you know why? Because the vent in that room is closed and it was cold. And I was under the covers and just cuddling with my own thighs and man parts. It was amazing.
To what do I owe this pleasure?
Yeah. I think upset alert is Pittsburgh, Kansas City. When you have that much emotion in a game, and by the way, am I the only one who no, I know I'm not the only one, but I'm one of the ones who says Kansas City is vulnerable based on what we've seen this year.
Yeah, they haven't been the same team, but they're so far ahead of the Steelers. Like
feels like it, but I'm telling you, that feels like one of those 27-24.
The only way that the Chiefs are losing that game is if they turn the football over repeatedly.
Which he's done.
Yeah, I know he's done. I know he's done, but he's been better. He's been better in the second half of the year.
Yeah, maybe.
To me, so here's the question as far as upsets are concerned. The 49ers beating the Cowboys in Dallas, is that an upset? Like, based on what we saw last week, 49ers
that'd be a
ran.
huge upset.
That'd be a big upset, right? That's the game where I'm like, okay, this would be classic cowboying.
Dallas has lost potential written all over.
Classic cowboying, right? Just like we were talking about dolphining yesterday. Classic cowboying.
God, you son of you stupid Russians. I would agree with that. Hello. I would agree with that. I think that Dallas has potential all over them.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I really do. Chris Karn says, I took Monty's class on birth control, and now I have 4 kids. Thanks, bro. You should have waited till today.
You had relations.
Because I told you today is all about the rhythm method. Don't go for that one extra. Anyway, I think the other team that's really interesting to me are the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
Like I need to understand.
It's time. It's time, right? This team was supposed to be a great team, and you were 10-2, right? Heading into the back end of the season, you finished 11 and I think they're 11-6 or 11-7 or whatever it is now. You finished by losing most of the final games of the year, and I think this team, first of all, does DeAndre Hopkins play? I don't know. That's a big question mark. First of all, second of all, the expectations around this team are what make this game the best game on the slate, in my opinion.
But how do you explain the Cardinals secondary just getting torched by Seattle?
Repeatedly. I don't know,
How does
dude.
that happen?
I don't know, man. And that's why I say
it's December and January, and you look like you're in training camp running drills.
Go Hawks.
Like seriously, like that's what's crazy to me. And this has shootout written all over it. But I don't think you're going to score 30 points on that Rams defense.
No, I think Aaron Donald's coming for that ass. That's what I think.
I love the Rams in that game.
I think Von Miller is going to have a big play. I think he's going to get a turnover because I think Aaron Donald and that defensive line is going to get pressure and penetration, and I think that is going to force turnovers out of Kyler Murray because, again, just like we're complaining about Patrick Mahomes, right? Kyler Murray is not as bad in terms of turnovers, but you can pressure him into something. You can create something as a defense. And that's what I think is going to be the real tester. Because the fact is, the truth about this team, the Cardinals, is it's time. You've had this Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray model for 3 seasons now.
Yes, you have.
And you've been improving. You've been doing what you need to do. But now you're at that first major stepping stone to greatness and winning a Super Bowl, which is divisional weekend or wild card weekend, rather.
Wow. I was just looking, DeAndre Hopkins, he tore his MCL?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize he tore it. There's no way he'll play.
Well,
He's out.
that's
this
not what they're
weekend.
saying.
They said he could be ready to come off injured reserve for a conference championship game.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't realize he had a full tear of the MCL. Yeah, he won't play. He won't. I am not on the. I don't care what happens in this game. Cliff Kingsbury's got to be back next year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they have so rapidly improved, and the offense took a year. It's very complex. It took a year for little Kyler to get into it.
The little guy.
But, verticality has come to life. He's one of the best he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL now.
Yeah. Now here's the real question about the games this weekend. Will we get the red Buffalo Bills jersey? Will they break it out?
But their balls are going to be blue because it's going to feel like minus 12.
Bro.
What?
No.
Minus 12? Football already hurts.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Good Lord.
I'm good.
That game, that's another one where, I don't know, man.
Josh Allen or Mac Jones? Who you like?
Well, I mean, Josh Allen's a superior quarterback, isn't he? I mean,
this has Patriots on the road win written all over it.
I don't think so.
I think it's got it all over it.
I think this is 21-10 Bills.
No.
The Bills will dominate. The Bills will because I just don't think I don't think Mac Jones is ready. I just don't think he's at that point where he can put a team on his back in the playoffs.
Well, we'll see. Again,
I mean, with all due
we have
respect
a lot
to
of
Josh
questions
McDaniels.
about guys, right? Like that's a great point by you. I mean, there's a lot of guys. You look around the matchups, and yeah, like we were just talking about. Frankly, I don't in the Rams Cardinals game. I don't think it's just Kyler we need to be talking about. Matt Stafford's got to show up. I mean, Buddy needs to come out and move the football. So like Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford. We were just talking about Patrick Mahomes having to show up and prove that he's still the dude.
But I also think that you have to look at the Patriots defense. That Christian Barmore injury is a huge injury.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a big part of their defensive line. I mean, I don't know that, I don't know. The Bills are pretty healthy.
Yeah. Yeah,
that secondary's playing very well. This has 21-10 written on the 21-10. I think the compelling AFC game of the week is Raiders-Bengals. Like that game to me.
Joe Burrow cigar time.
Oh man, I want it. I want it. I want Joe Burrow to play in big games, and I think the Bengals are absolutely going to shred the Raiders.
Dan Orlovsky, ESPN guy, tweeted. I think
Do you pleasure yourself to Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah, we have relations, and I get Dan Orlovsky jerseys, so it's fine. Anyway, point is, Dan Orlovsky tweeted, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but basically he tweeted that in the last 3 seasons or whatever, including Joe Burrow's time at LSU, he's played 4 or 5 must-have-it games, must-win to move on type games. And in those games, he's averaging 400 yards a game, 16 touchdowns,
right,
no
but
interceptions.
The problem is Joe Burrow's knee is a real issue here.
Well,
remember, he didn't play last week. A lot of people, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this, that Joe Burrow didn't play in week 8 or week 18, I guess, 17, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Week 18, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He rested because he has this knee injury.
And that was a smart move by them.
So he gets a week off. Does he come back and he's fine?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I don't know. We'll see. That's a huge game. I think that game, and Tanner is probably going to absolutely plant a garden when I say this. Yes! I think the Tampa Bay Bucks are on upset alert.
Dude,
the Eagles are
serious,
the Eagles
dude?
are an upstart team.
No way.
I mean, they have beaten.
Dude, you're talking about Tom Brady, bro. Come on now.
And look, I understand that the Eagles are not giant killers. I understand that. I mean, I was reading ESPN, and I think the best quarterback they beat this year is probably Teddy Bridgewater, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
But when Tom Brady, he tore up Philly.
Yes, he did.
But, man, I think Philadelphia is a different team than they were when they met the first time. And what was that, week 7, 6 or 7? A different player.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, This game is not a blowout. This game is not. They don't have Antonio Brown, who's the best receiver Tom Brady's ever had.
Okay.
It's a joke. I was kidding.
That was a joke.
I think you're looking at a Bucs win, but it's not going to be a blowout.
No, they weren't. They're not going to blow them out, but they'll handle it.
It's going to be tight. I'm telling you. Eagles are in Brady's head too. Brylark says.
And yeah, just like Joe Ingles is in Paul George's head, right?
The Nye guy says league loves the Bucs. I mean Brady. Exactly. Brylark, what is wrong with you? Hoping for a girl because I don't want to raise a terrorist?
Bro, what?
What? Cody Strickland says, by the way, I feel great. We need to make a time to meet up. Yeah, we still have your guy,
dude.
Your Xbox is sitting at the top of my stairs.
Listen, dude, we tried to give it to you last weekend and you weren't feeling well and there was some scheduling and you had to work and it just wasn't.
Did I get my test result yet or what?
Check it.
I am checking it. Yep. No, I have not gotten it. You're such a dick. My God. You can take Stafford out of Detroit, but you can't take Detroit out of Stafford.
He's a bum.
Give me the Cards with a late game changing turnover from Stafford.
Yeah.
Nye guy says, love it, giggity. Bengals smoke the Raiders. Curious what Monty does when with Nick Chubb's jersey. You already know, man. You already know.
Wow.
Giggity says Eagles are a run-heavy offense going against a tough run D. Not going to happen. Hey, give me the Xbox. I'll personally deliver it to you, Cody. Sure you will, Jeremy.
Yeah, sure thing.
Sure you will.
Sure.
All right.
They texted.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
We need to meet up this weekend.
Okay. Let's talk about this thing at the U yesterday.
All right. So I went and got COVID tested at U Health here in South Georgia.
Okay. Now, before you tell the story about what happened, why did you go and get tested?
Because that hoe that you hang out with, your girlfriend has COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I would have gotten it from her, but it just pushed me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had a cough that today is way better. You have to admit, I'm coughing much less today.
Yeah.
But I've had a cough that's been nagging and won't go away.
Mm-hmm.
And, it just felt like the right thing to do.
Okay.
And so
everybody gets a test.
My wife had the exact same thing that I'm going through now.
Right.
And she did not test positive. She tested negative.
Yep.
So
as he checks the app again for results.
I'm trying, man. But I would encourage you to get at-home testing. And there again,
coronavirus.
If you're listening to this show on podcast or on YouTube, there's a link to the at-home tests that we use. It's directly below. I'm telling you, they're great.
Yes, go get it.
Go get it. There's also a link to our 32 degrees mask that we wear all the time that people ask us about. But I'm telling you right now, get tested if you have symptoms. And this cough just wouldn't go away.
Okay, so you go in yesterday, and
I have an appointment. And U Health, by the way, in South Jordan is fantastic. It's a beautiful
great
facility,
dude.
Yeah, it is. They're always very friendly. The staff is great. I really enjoy interacting with the people at U Health. Thankfully, I don't have to do it much. It is one of those ones where you go in there, you walk up to the front desk, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here to get a COVID test. Do you have an appointment?" Yes. Date of birth, name, cock size, like they take all this information from me.
Right.
And then, surprising to me, he just hands me a plastic bag with the tube in it.
Okay.
And he's like, all right, here's what I want you to do. I'm just go outside. You can go to your car. You can sit. There's a bench right there. And you just need to spit in the tube. I knew how to do the test. He asked me because I had done it previously.
Yeah.
But he's like, go outside and sit on the bench or sit in your car and fill the tube up. Bring it back in and walk it down the hall to the lab on the left, the blood lab.
Yeah.
Now, the last time I got COVID tested was about a year ago when you were still with the girl you broke up with over text, who gave you COVID.
Yeah.
And I walked into U Health in Park City, and they took us through a line. We sat in a room. This was totally different. And it's weird sitting on a bench outside of a door at a hospital, spitting into a tube, and everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
Yeah, this is HIPAA, isn't it? This is HIPAA, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
That's HIPAA?
It is HIPAA. But so then I spit in the tube, filled it up, took it to the lab.
Yeah.
And they're like, it could be a couple hours or it could be a week or so before we get a result to you. She said it just depends on the volume of testing and
thanks.
I was like, wow, that's reassuring. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I couldn't give you a better answer than that, but yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay.
Well, so the girlfriends took, 2 days or no, 3 days.
Yeah. Mrs. Monty went to Walgreens, got it in about 24 hours.
Yeah.
Last time that I went and got tested in health, it took about 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I got that tested around 11:45 yesterday. So I'm thinking by the time we go work out that I'll have a yay or a nay.
Hopefully.
So, but it's interesting, like I'm a guy that wears my mask pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
And again, at the gym yesterday, people were looking at us oddly.
Yeah, they were always funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the COVID testing thing is real.
Yeah. So wait, he said, but we're skipping over the lead here. So the guy told you to get at home tests and test consistently.
Yeah. So the guy at U Health said, no matter what happens here, positive or negative, he said, you're going to need to test at home. He said, I would encourage you to get and I said to him, hey, yeah, I have the thing. And because he said, if you test positive, you're going to have to test yourself out of quarantine. And if you don't test positive, if you test negative and these symptoms continue, you'll want to test a couple of more times to make sure that you didn't get a false negative.
Yeah.
So he straight up said, you need to test. I'm triple vaxxed.
Yeah.
I have the Pfizer vaccine and the booster.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get another booster in about a month. But if I have it, I think, and as the guy said, not much will change. He said, you're pretty asymptomatic other than this cough. He said, but you know what? You really want to wear your mask everywhere you go. And until you're symptom free, I would encourage you to stay home. And, so I canceled my dentist appointment for today. I was supposed to go and have
So now do you feel like you have it?
I don't, but I'm taking the precautions. I'm acting as if I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be spreading it to people.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So,
So you better check yourself.
Yeah. James Knight says the worst kind of cough is the one your doctor requests. Seriously.
Yeah.
Don't they use hand warmers at the doctor's office?
Apparently.
The guy says, lose your taste and smell. No, I did not. COVID effed mine up and onions smell like hobo's armpit. Nice.
Okay.
I have no, knock on wood, I have no COVID symptoms other than this little cough.
Yeah. Which everybody seems to have.
Yeah. Taste, smell, fever. I have nothing. Yeah. I feel great. I'm sleeping well. My appetite's fine,
Right.
So
the coronavirus.
I don't know. Jeremy Bolton says I wore my mask for the first time in a while at the gym yesterday, and I got so many weird looks.
People get all pissed off about it, and I don't really get it, dude. I don't really get why wearing a mask to the gym is this terrible thing or some awful thing.
Greg Hawkins says you guys are lucky you got to take a break from the masks. Non-stop mask wearing for 2 years out here. Greg's in the Philippines.
Yeah, well, you should come back to the States, buddy.
They also banned unvaxxed people from going out of their homes here now too. Wow. Yeah, but see, I don't think, and this is the thing about, here in Salt Lake County, there's this big uproar over the mask mandate.
Yeah.
Why is there an uproar? Why do I still to this day do not understand why people, when you go to the grocery store, you go to the gym, or wherever you go, put a mask on. Protect yourself and protect the people around you.
And I think the biggest thing is that people think that it's suppressing their freedoms or something. It's dude, it has nothing to do with your freedoms. It is about public safety, man. I just don't understand why it's got to be that way.
Yeah, I don't get it. Kenny says unvaccinated people can't even go most places here either. True. Cody Strickland says, I've also seen you guys having fun in the mountains, so I didn't want to ruin your weekend by meeting up with the chest cold we all had. Felt like the right thing to do is to wait. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we weren't mad about it, dude.
Yeah.
It really is not that big of a deal.
No, not at all. It's cool. We're just breaking balls.
Yeah.
But I think it's unfortunate that wearing masks in this country is taboo.
Yeah.
I'm begging you to get an at-home test because it's so hard to schedule a test right now.
Link in the description, get the test, and just test once in a while.
Yeah, again, I just would tell you, I would do it. The problem with common sense, Monty, is it's not very common. True.
Yay.
Cream Pie Lars just got his comment hidden. I don't know what you said, but I'm going to go ahead and say that, Lars, you're probably not going to
Yeah, that's probably not great.
It's not going to go well for you.
Yeah, that's probably not great.
Macaws won't let you in without a COVID QR code, Kenny says. Sweet. I like that. You guys would like to see a Patriots versus Bucks? I would love to see that Super Bowl.
Well, yeah,
Love
I think
to.
everybody would love to see that.
Cream Pie Lars says it's just a prank.
I don't understand.
Maybe.
What's just a prank?
I don't know, but I'm going to put him in timeout because of his name. I'm waiting to hear this rhythm method lesson, Giggity says.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Okay,
I'm a fucking unit.
Yeah. Speaking of sex education,
right.
Can we talk about these baby names, please?
Yeah, dude. I don't know what Gen Z is doing, or maybe it's my generation. I don't know. But
it's certainly your generation, because anything that's fucked up in this world is a millennial.
Thank you. Yeah. So, roll up on this article from the, the Huff Post, and it literally says, first one, Ezekiel is more popular than Robert.
These are name trends.
Like,
these are trends in baby names.
Like,
which I'm amazed by.
Like, Ezekiel is more popular than Robert?
How?
How is that even possible?
Now, look, I get it. We live in a biblical time,
Nova is more popular than Hannah.
Nova?
Like,
who names their kid after a Chevy? You know that there used to be a car called a
Chevy Nova. Right. Yeah.
Stop with this.
Legend is more popular than George.
Okay, if you name your kid Legend, anybody should be able to walk up to you and punch you in the face.
Pack your shit. Let's go.
Yeah, we should be able to kick your ass. You cannot name you. No. Stop it. Keep going. Other names.
Marissa is one of the fastest declining names for girls.
Really?
Kinsley is more popular than Anna.
Okay, Kinsley is such a Utah name.
It is. Yeah.
What about
Britt Leanne?
Okay. Here are the names that are the hottest names of 2022 for a girl. Dove.
Okay.
It checks every box. It shares the great V sound heard in favorites like Olivia and Oliver, which, by the way, does anybody know that Olivia and Oliver are the two most popular baby names in Utah right now?
Interesting.
Okay. Finley. Parents can't get enough of the nickname Finn, says a baby name consultant. What the fuck? You're a baby name consultant?
Wait, that's a position?
Get out of here, man.
That's a position.
Quin with two N's, Quinn.
Fuck. Careful with Quin. We all know what's going on with Quin.
Daphne.
Okay, what is this? Scooby-Doo time?
Which is coming into popularity because of the Netflix series Bridgerton.
Okay, we get it. We like sex.
Here's one that is shocking. Ada. A-D-A. Ada. Are you serious? Remy. A true unisex juggernaut of a name. Wells. What are you, named after a bank?
Shout to Mobamba.
Wells? Rivers.
Yeah,
like,
my name is Wells because I'm getting paid.
Yeah, right? Like Rivers? Rivers. Plural. A hot trend in baby names is names that are plural.
Okay, start calling me Jakes. What's up, Jakes?
What are you doing? Franklin.
Franklin's.
Eloise. Here's one. The 8th hottest name in baby names. Knowledge.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I swear to God, if you name your kid Knowledge, I'm donkey punching you right in the throat. Knowledge.
Drop that motherfucker.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
No.
and then the name that currently ranks in the boys' top 100 and is the fastest rising name in boy name top 100, Maverick.
Come on. What is the other brother going to be? Goose? Come on, dude.
Maverick. How about Mazikeen? What is wrong with you? Mazikeen.
Is that like a drug name? Mazikeen? That sounds like a drug.
Malachi.
Malachi. Not surprised.
Aurora. Riggs. Another plural. I'm telling you, plural names are crazy.
Sometimes I think I just say shit. Sample what comes
What
out of
happened
my
to Kevin?
mouth.
What happened to Kevin or Steve? What about Steve?
What about Richard?
Well, no, because then you're a dick.
Well.
And I can't get down with that.
Terribly vexed.
But I don't understand this.
Okay, what are the comments saying?
Look, guys, knowledge is taking their first steps. Okay.
Wow.
Get it?
Wow.
Look, guys, knowledge is powerful.
It's actually not that easy, but for me, it was easy.
Is knowledge a boy's or a girl's name?
It's one of the most powerful unisex names. Okay.
No.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, if you were going to name your kid today, what would you name him?
Bob.
Okay. Can you imagine the pressure you put on a kid by calling them legend?
Yeah.
Yes, Brylark. Kenny
good.
says, kids are going to find this video in 10 years and be out for you.
Suckmyass.com.
Exactly. Nye Guy says, Riggs, Lethal Weapon much? Maverick, Top Gun much?
Yeah, dude. Like.
Okay, if you were going to name your kid today? I named Jacob Tyler.
Yeah, Jake's.
I think that's a pretty good name. Like, I named you. But you have a stepsister named Benasia.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding about crappy baby names?
What kind of... Yeah, no. Nope.
If you were going to name somebody, if you were going to name a child today, I'm more of a traditionalist. I think I'd go with Gunner. Anyway.
Baylor?
Baylor, Gunner Romney.
See what I did there?
I think I would probably Matthew stands out to me. I wouldn't name him Michael because that's an a-hole name like my brother.
Michael.
Michael. I don't know, like
Jeffrey.
Nah, because then you're the Jeffer.
Shout to Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba?
No. I would go something traditional.
Yeah, I would be traditional too. I would not be naming my kid Riggs.
No,
You know,
it would be something like Matthew, Jonathan, Jack. Probably Jack. I love the name
like
Jack.
Yeah.
I always have.
Yeah.
For girls, it would probably be Jenny, so that she'd be a hoe.
Okay,
No, I'm kidding.
God.
Kidding. Just kidding. Just
So check
kidding.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly, Casey. You're setting up your kid Maverick for a future in porn. Like what is absolutely off limits? How about this name from Jeremy Bolton? Hobbs Nyborg. No. La, pronounced la dash Ladasha? Are you kidding? Stop it.
Ladasha.
L-A-A is pronounced Ladasha. Stop it, Greg.
Stop,
it.
dude. Stop, man.
Stop it. Brylark says Gunner was 1,000% at the Capitol on January 6th. That's awesome. Cody Strickland says, I like Kai Strickland for my future boy. Ooh, that's not bad. Kai's not a bad name.
Yeah, Kai's all right.
What are douche names? Like Bo. No offense if you named your kid Bo, he's a douche.
Kyle.
Kyle's not a bad name.
You don't think Kyle's a bad name?
No, what's wrong with Kyle?
Chad.
Well, I have a good friend named
Chad's
Chad.
kind of a douche name.
Chad is a douche name.
Chad is.
Yes, it is. Jeremy Bolton says, I think we have strong traditional names for my kids. Olivia, Eleanor, and Adam. Yes, you do.
I've always enjoyed Eleanor.
Stop it,
Big
Jared.
fan.
Jared says Craven Moorhead.
Oh, yes,
that's great.
dude. Yes.
The night guy says Todd. Todd's not a bad name. But what about girls' names? Because I think girls have it more difficult. Because
Craven Moorhead, dude. Like, that's just a legendary comment, bro. I
agree. I laugh at Lakeisha every time, Cody Strickland says. Girls' names. I'm not.
I like Eleanor a lot. For the
Eleanor's
record.
a good name.
I like Eleanor a lot.
But then she's Ellie. Ellie or Nora?
I like Olivia a lot.
Olivia is the #1 name in most states right now.
I like Olivia a lot.
D Nice.
No.
Denise is a big name.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Where is Aaron right now?
There was a meme online of Denise and Denephew. Which I thought was great. Kenny says Clementine.
No, it's too much.
My kid name is Anakin Sky. No, it's not.
No, it is not.
My 2 daughters are Adeline and Piper. Casey. Ooh, I like Piper.
Piper's nice. I like
Casey
that.
Finland
Cool.
says my
Yeah.
son's name is Hunter. Do you know where his laptop is?
Wow.
See what that was a. Names I would never go with Jenny or Jennifer because there's a stigma attached to that.
Would never go with like a Victoria or
Becky.
Would never do Becky.
Rachel.
Nah, it's just too. It's too casual.
Obviously, Karen's out.
Yeah, Karen's way out.
What
Cassie is out.
Megan?
No, Megan's a chill name. Megan's a chill name.
Martha.
No, you're old.
Leslie.
No. Nope.
Suzanne.
Nope, definitely not. You're an
Susan.
accountant. Nope.
Raylan.
No, I'm not naming my daughter Raylan.
What? Taylor.
No.
No.
See, I need some class behind it.
Brittany.
No.
That's
why I like Eleanor and Olivia and
Alexis.
Vanessa.
Alexis. I like Vanessa a lot.
I don't. No, not Alexis. No.
Because then you're Alexi if you're Alexis.
Yeah.
And if you're Vanessa, you're Van. You know.
I like Vanessa's a power name, I feel like.
Okay. I have two aunts named Jen, and I hate them both. Literally, both had hidden relationships, Kenny says.
Schemers, bro.
What female names make you assume she's going to be hot? Oh, Jenny for sure. Jenny better be hot. Rafaela.
Rafaela.
I'm just trying to... anything like any Latin girl's name, Sophia.
That's Latin.
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Marge?
Annie? No, Annie. No, Cody. No. My wife's name is Jennifer, and she is amazing.
Well.
Okay. So you got the one. Cody Strickland. Juliet? Fiona? No, Fiona sounds like a bitch.
Yeah, you can't
Seriously.
do Fiona. That's straight out of Shrek, dude.
Destroy your daughters with the name Alexa, Fat Jesus. Oh, my God. That would be terrible.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
You would have to change the name of your home Amazon pod. Aria? Nah, man.
I feel like a lot of people do name their kids Aria, though.
Mandalay?
No.
No?
Nope. The Golden Nugget?
Exactly right. Exactly. I don't know what name I would go with, though. I listen, and if you have daughters, I appreciate that. Greg Hawkins said, my girlfriend's name is Heiza Madrid. Ooh.
That's interesting.
She's, well, with all due respect.
That foreign, bro.
With all due respect. She sounds hot.
You
That
got
name sounds
you got
hot.
That foreign.
I'm for real.
Right? Name your daughter Rudy, Jake.
Nah, I'm good.
Nah, he's fine. Heiza Madrid does sound hot. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I dated a Jasmine. Don't do it, fellas. Don't, Nye Guy says.
Yeah, what is this, Aladdin?
Giggity says, Brit sounds like a sexy name. Am I right, Monty? Yes, you're absolutely
Here we
right.
go.
Fat Jesus says, what about Areola? Nothing? Silence? Okay.
I'm not playing his games.
All right. Jared Jensen says, fill up my crevice. Why am I such a child? I find that funny.
Fill up my crevice.
Also dated a Jasmine. Worst relationship I've ever had, Greg Hawkins says. Okay, so Jasmine's out because then you got to call him Jazz, right?
The Jazster.
Jazzerific.
He's checking his app again for a test result.
No test result. I always like Jordan for a girl's name, James Knight says. Jeremy Bolton says Mike Hunt. Kenny says Monty. Monty's a great name. And then he deleted the message. What about Raven?
No, dude, no.
Stop.
Bro, stop that.
Stop. Riley?
Trying to find some.
The Nye Guy says Pat McCrotch. Get it?
Bro.
Pat McCrotch.
Craven Moorhead still has the lead, just so we're clear.
Great. Craven Moorhead's amazing. Oh my God! Like I can't think of a girl's. Like if you have daughters, more power to you. I'm so glad. Well, I have a daughter, but he's really my son, and I don't judge you for that. I want you to have freedom.
Charlotte.
No.
Mia.
No. See, Charlotte sounds like a fat girl's name.
Isabella.
Isabella is my mother-in-law's dog's name is Isabella. Mia is a hot name.
Yeah,
Mia's like a porn star name.
Yeah.
Like
Evelyn.
Evelyn sounds pretentious.
Harper.
No.
Camilla.
No, hell no.
Gianna.
Hey, baby.
Abigail. I like Abigail.
Then no, because you're Abby.
Wow. Luna.
No.
Ella.
No.
Avery.
No, she's on her period all the time.
Scarlett.
Johansson, yes.
Madison.
No.
Penelope.
No. Like
Grace.
Giggity claims he grew up next to a guy named Dick Rash. You did not.
Come on, guy.
You did not.
No way.
Rectangle says, what about Corey, C-O-R-I? I don't mind that.
Addison?
I also grew up with a guy named Jackhammer. Stop it.
Lucy?
Lucy.
Audrey?
No.
Genesis.
Kenny says, holy crap, all these stereotypes are fitting with real people I know. Genesis?
Yes, Genesis is a name.
Oh, Genesis sounds like a know-it-all, though.
Savannah?
No, because you a hoe.
Serenity.
Yeah, because there's no peace in Serenity. Like, I'll put my peace in Serenity.
Sadie.
Sadie sounds like a hoe.
Nevaeh.
You realize Nevaeh is heaven backwards.
Yes, thank you.
Vivian is making a comeback. Viv. Letterman used to have people on the show with weird names. One was Just a Duck.
Athena.
Athena's well.
You better have that game.
Yeah, hey, baby.
You better, no.
That sounds like Athena sounds like somebody who works out all the time.
Yeah. Trying to find other interesting names on this list. Emerson.
Man, you better have confidence if you're a girl and your name is Emerson.
Yeah.
What about Amber is a hoe's name?
Yeah.
Right? Amber's one.
Genevieve.
Amber's that girl you want to go to prom with so that you can hang out after prom.
Yes.
What was the last name? What's the last name you said?
Kitty Cat Juices is not all over the place.
Athena Ferris, the porn star. Oh, is Athena Ferris a porn star? I didn't
River.
know. River is. First of all, River Phoenix died of a heroin overdose on the Sunset Strip, so I'm good. I want a name with a good nickname. Yes,
Noelle.
See, Noelle sounds like a large woman.
Trinity.
No, fuck no. Come on. Trinity sounds like...
Yeah, I named my daughter and son Trinity and Neo.
Trinity sounds like the girl who's got like 3 dudes paying her child support.
His standards don't matter.
Yeah, they do, actually. Yeah, they do. Fat Jesus says Zeus. No, man, that's I named my dog's name. No, see, Cam Harrison says Pamela, but Pamela sounds like one of those names where you're just like...
Stormy?
That's a porn star name.
Yeah.
A lot of sex. That's what I think of. What do you want? Amber gives you sticky pinky after prom.
Wow.
Stinky pinky after prom. Stop it, my guy. Do you guys realize how many people you've offended on this topic? We probably have. If your girlfriend's name is Amber, I mean, keep her on a close leash, man. Because I'm telling you, she can get around. You know, Deny Guy, that is scarily accurate. WTF. True with Amber. River is the worst name of all time, Brylark says. Rectangle says, name my son Jefferson. I don't mind Jefferson. It just got awkward, Jake. It did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so you're having a daughter. What are you naming her? And you have to come up with a name right now.
Olivia.
So she's fat.
No.
Or she's a cop, because I think of Olivia Benson.
You're so fucked.
And then you'd name her the Big O, and she's either an orgasm or Obama.
I want to thank me for having no days off.
Well.
Hey. Who are you going to prom with? The Big O?
Whatever.
Lucky you, dude. Olivia's a great name. Crystal? No. Cam Harrison?
Dude.
No. Fat Jesus says Shocker. Pull a Kanye and name your baby North. Yeah, because you ain't naming her South. I can tell you that right now. Are you fans of places of names? Brooklyn, India? I knew a Paris. I grew up with a Paris.
Paris Hilton?
I can't remember her last name, but she was a great friend.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm telling you, I knew a guy named Christian P. Bacon. Chris P. Bacon.
Wow.
No, you didn't.
Wow.
Jeremy, that's a lie. There's no way. Anyway, all right. Now that we've wasted half our lives talking about baby names, Paris or Portia?
Portia.
Portia.
Portia. Portia.
Portia sounds rich.
Yeah, let me just name my daughter Ford.
I know a bunch of Mercedes. You know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Say goodbye, Jake.
Okay. Goodbye, Jake.